YouTube, what it do? What it do? It's your boy No Code. Today we got another reaction video for y'all. Uh SpongeBob conspiracy number one, the Squilliam theory. This video is by Alex Bell. I got put on by one of these videos by one of the homies, and he told me I should just give him a look. He said, don't watch them, by yourself. Just hit record and just straight, you know what I'm saying? Give my authentic reaction to the video. So I said, no, say less. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get straight into the video.
Squidward's rival from high school band class.
So, I just took
Yeah, I
my
remember
private
Squilliam.
yacht across my private lake to my private heliport.
He's more wealthy, popular, and talented than Squidward.
First off, my favorite SpongeBob episode will always have to be where they did the band at the Super Bowl. The best episode by SpongeBob ever, and it just so happens to include him. So that's why I wanted to say it. Get back.
And he always rubs it in his face.
That's right. I'm living your dreams, Squidward. Oh, just succeeding in everything you failed in.
But I intend to prove that he's a fraud, using his wealth to make himself seem more popular and talented than he actually is. He goes to ridiculously extreme and expensive lengths to humiliate Squidward and show his superiority, and I'm gonna prove it. SpongeBob is one of my favorite shows from my childhood. Even going back now and rewatching the old ones, it still holds up. You might think, it's just a kid's show, there's no continuity, there's nothing worth theorizing about, but the show constantly brings back characters and references to previous episodes, and if you look closely, you can connect the dots and find some very interesting stories. And today, I'm going to prove that Squilliam Fancyson III is a manipulative fraud. Evidence number 1, the pet hospital. We first meet Squilliam in Season 2, Episode 15, Band Geeks. The episode opens with Squidward playing the
Talk about the
clarinet
episode
and
right
getting a
now.
knock on
Off
the door.
rip.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street, and I understand you have a dying animal on the premises.
Immediately after, Squidward gets a
Dang.
call from Squilliam.
He just tried to play him like that.
Hello, you've reached the house of unrecognized talent. Please start after the...
Sounds as though you've got a dying animal to attend to, eh, old chum?
I believe that not only was Squilliam spying on Squidward to know when he was playing his clarinet, but he also hired the doctor to come and embarrass Squidward.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street. Pet hospital down the street.
We have never seen a pet hospital in Bikini Bottom. We've only ever seen just the regular Bikini Bottom hospital. We've seen this purple doctorfish before, but once again, he's never worked at a pet hospital. We've only ever seen him at the regular general hospital.
Well, Mr. SquarePants, it seems you have the suds. Are you
I
ready
was
for
fine
your
episode
treatment?
too.
Then there's this green fish behind him, and we've only ever seen him as one of the many identical paramedics that work at the Bikini Bottom Hospital. We even see him at the end of the episode to take Squilliam away after fainting. So it is very likely that Squilliam hired these two and told them to pretend like they're from a pet hospital just to humiliate Squidward. But this is just the start of Squilliam's elaborate lies. Evidence number 2, the Bubble Bowl. In the same episode, Squilliam also says,
I'm the leader of a big fancy band now, and we're supposed to play the Bubble Bowl next week. The problem is, I'm busy next week and can't make it, so I was hoping you and your band could cover for us.
but we've never seen Squilliam's band before, and despite claiming he's too busy to make it to the Bubble Bowl, he still shows up at the end to watch Squidward's band. So both his excuse and probably his band were made up to pressure Squidward into humiliating himself at the Bubble Bowl. Evidence number 3, Squilliam's friends. In Season 3, Episode 8, Squilliam returns. Squidward leaves
Wow,
for work
fake
and
as hell.
conveniently bumps into Squilliam and all of his fancy friends, despite Squilliam not seeming like the kind of guy that would come near the Krusty Krab. He and his friends make fun of Squidward for working as a cashier.
Hold it! Don't tell me! You're a cashier!
Don't lie. Lying always makes it worse.
But I
Dang.
believe that this encounter was planned out
Me
by
and Squilliam
Squilliam
would've
in
had to throw
advance,
hands
and
on
he
God.
hired all of those people to pretend to be his friends. Take a look at Squilliam's friends. They're all nicely dressed. You kind of get the sense that they're
All like
fancy,
people that are
high-status
just in the
members of
city.
Bikini Bottom, but they aren't. This is more like what the fancy rich people in Bikini Bottom look like. These are just some regular Bikini Bottom citizens. Most of them
Right.
usually don't even wear nice clothes like this. And most of them are regulars at the Krusty Krab and would already know Squidward as the cashier.
My daddy doesn't have enough slime!
These are not the type of people Squilliam would hang out with. I mean, why would Squilliam be hanging out with one of Pearl's teenage friends? At the end of the episode, Squilliam even admits to his whole life being fake.
I made everything up about my life. I have no yachts, jets, or anything. I was only trying to impress you.
And then, of course, he quickly says he's just kidding.
Is that true?
Of course not.
I'm
I'm
filthy
filthy
rich.
stinking rich.
But was he kidding? I mean, obviously he's rich, but is there a nugget of truth in there? Evidence number 4, the statue. In Season 7, Episode 6, Squidward has to pick up trash for community service, and Squilliam once again conveniently bumps into him and reveals he's cleaned up so much trash the city actually built a statue of him.
Maybe
I-
if you
he
clean up
made
Bikini
that.
Bottom, they'll build a statue of you. Oh, wait! They've already built one of me! I cleaned up all of Bikini Bottom in only 1 week.
I believe that once again, this encounter was staged by Squilliam, and he actually paid to get that statue built. As Squilliam tells Squidward about the statue, a female fish admires it and says,
Bless you, Squilliam Fancy Sim. Bless you.
but if you remember, this is one of those friends Squilliam likely paid, making her
Right.
whole comment feel very fake. By the end of the episode, Squilliam's statue gets destroyed. A police officer approaches and they have this exchange.
This is your statue?
It was.
Squilliam admits that it's his statue, not the city's. And why else would the officer give him specifically a ticket if it was city property? Evidence number 5, the concert.
Dang. He
In
is
Season
exposing him
6,
for
Episode
real.
17, Squidward watches Squilliam play the clarinet at a big fancy concert. He receives a standing ovation, causing Squidward to leave angrily. But I believe this entire concert is a scam. Not only has the audience been paid to cheer, but Squilliam never even touches his instrument. Once again, many of the audience members were part of Squilliam's quote-unquote friends, but we also never actually see Squilliam play the clarinet. The episode opens right after he's finished his performance with the audience cheering, and one member of the audience says,
He's such a great musician. He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
maybe the real reason Squidward leaves so angrily is because the audience cheered for Squilliam even though he never even touched his clarinet. Maybe Squilliam is just as bad as Squidward at the clarinet and he's trying to hide it. Squilliam has gone to some pretty extreme lengths just to humiliate Squidward, but nothing,
For real.
and I mean nothing, compares to what he does next. Evidence number 6,
Okay,
the
okay,
music
let's see.
college. In the same episode, after Squidward leaves the concert, he's approached by the headmistress of the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college.
Aren't you the esteemed Squilliam Fancyson III, who we all came here to see perform tonight?
She mistakes him for Squilliam and offers him a position as a professor. Squidward pretends to be Squilliam and teaches a class, only for the police to burst in and arrest him, all while he's being filmed on live TV. And I believe that this is Squilliam's most elaborate and most expensive scheme to destroy Squidward both publicly and legally. This encounter where Squidward gets
Bro
offered a
goes
job
to
is already
no-
suspiciously convenient.
I mean, to
but
like
listen closely
the
to their
maximum
exchange.
extremes to do the most for this man.
Squilliam Fancy Sim.
But didn't you just say a minute ago that your name was Squidward Q Tentacles?
It is. No, I didn't.
Well, that's a relief. I mean, what kind of a moron would go to their worst enemy's music recital?
What kind of moron would go to their own enemy's music recital? How does she know that Squidward and Squilliam are enemies? If she knew who Squidward was, then why didn't she recognize him? Why would she mistake him for Squilliam? This feels way too much like she was hired by Squilliam to set a trap for Squidward. And if that's not enough, the headmistress's associate is literally just a guy from the paid audience wearing a disguise. He just threw on some glasses to seem smart. Squilliam knew that Squidward couldn't resist the opportunity to teach a music class, even if it meant breaking the law.
My very own music class.
Then we get to the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college, and right off the bat, there's something very fishy about this place. The building itself is very green and grimy.
Nah.
It has a very cheap metal look. Nothing about this says prestigious, except for the big sign on top, which feels like the only new thing about this building. I think there is a very good chance that Squilliam just bought
They
some
painted
old
that on
warehouse,
there.
then stuck
I was
a
gonna
sign
say,
and some paint
yeah.
on it to disguise it as a college. I mean, look at these other schools in Bikini Bottom. They all have a very nice structure and a paint job, but this prestigious music college looks like a
What?
dumpster.
Wait,
Going into the
What?
classroom,
Yeah,
not
Bikini Bottom
only does it have
University.
another one of Squilliam's friends, but if this is such a prestigious college, how did SpongeBob and Patrick get in here?
Would you two numbskulls mind telling me what you're doing in music class anyway?
Sure. Patrick's New Year's resolution was to learn to play an instrument.
They say it was their New Year's resolution to take a music class, but you'd think it'd be harder for them to get into an esteemed music school if they just decided to go to it on a whim. Seems like they're just letting in anyone to sell this ruse. Then, both the police, Squilliam and the headmistress, and a live news broadcast show up at the same time to arrest Squidward for impersonating Squilliam. If the extremely
Bro, put
coincidental
him
fact that all of these
behind
people
bars
suddenly showed up at the same
as a
time
prank.
isn't enough for you to believe that Squilliam set it all up, I've got something that's going to blow your mind. Squilliam literally has the police working for him.
Squidward, cute tentacles, I'm placing you under arrest for impersonating a genius.
If that doesn't sound like he's been paid off, I don't know what does. The lengths that Squilliam goes to humiliate Squidward are insane. He literally builds statues and entire buildings just to make Squidward feel inferior. But why? Why would anyone go so far to embarrass an old
There has
high
to
school
be a
band
deeper,
classmate?
like,
What happened
story
between them?
behind
What
all
could have
this. Has
caused
to
this
be.
extreme level of dedication? Well, unfortunately, we never really get much information on their past. I've spent hours reading through the SpongeBob Wikipedia and looking at old episodes, and there really just isn't any clues that would explain their weird relationship. I guess we can't solve everything, but either way,
Dang.
that's my theory. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Wait a second. Season 6, Episode 5, Slide Whistle Stooges. Just a normal episode where SpongeBob and
Okay.
Patrick annoy Squidward. Nothing
gonna
really
get
out of the
somewhere?
ordinary. Except I have one question about this episode. Why does Squidward have Squilliam's robe? That is clearly not the purple robe he usually wears. That is Squilliam Fancyson III's robe. Why would Squidward have this? Unless they were more than just classmates. Could they have once been dating? No way. That's not possible.
Nah.
There's no evidence to support that. Right?
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
No. It can't be.
I mean, what kind of a moron would go to their worst enemy's music recital?
It's been right in front of us this whole time.
Our sources last saw Evil harassing teenagers up at
There is no way.
Make outrage. Good time. Good time.
Voted most likely to suck eggs in high
Yo.
Holy shit!
Nah, they got it. They got it. What? That would make a lot of sense. That's something a toxic ass ex would do. Like high key, that is something a toxic ex would do. Like a lot of this like manipulative, like oh,
The show
I'm gonna, you know what I
SpongeBob
mean?
SquarePants is not what you
Like-
think it is. There is a secret.
Wow. Squidward never had a female he liked either. Dang. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments, because that's crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all ain't know, now you know. It's your boy No Code. I do a lot of reaction videos, play games on live, and talk a lot of junk, man. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. It's free. Throw a thumbs up. Put some comments down below. See me later for the next video. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Peace.